Hello, Ariana here, and this video is all about calendars inside of Kartra. So let's jump right into it. You're going to navigate over to the calendar menu item, and then this is what opens up. So this is a calendar booking system, an alternative to something like Calendly that you can use right inside of Kartra. So to start creating one, we're going to hit the blue button in the right hand corner. And right off the bat, we have a few decisions to make. So depending on what you are using this for, there are different models, and I think Kartra does a really good job at explaining each of these here. And in a nutshell, you would use this if you are using a calendar to book consultation calls, or your clients are booking sessions with you, much like we often use Calendly and similar systems. This is something you can use for, like it says, a recurring class model. And so if you want people to be able to register for some sort of workshops, for example, that you are putting on a regular basis, you could use this. Gym model is, like it says here, setting up a fixed date and time. And so it's, multiple events that people can register for, multiple people can register for them, but it's not like the recurring class model where it's the same date and time. You're able to have the schedule there. Or you can do a live event, which is kind of like the class model, but it's a one-time live session. I am going to go through the setup using this as the example because I think most often this is the one that people will at least start with. So we're going to go create, and I'll just give it a name. This is just the name that you see. Okay, so here we have the basic information. I'm going to go through all of these settings. The look and feel, it's going to pull in your logo, or you can upload a different or new one there if needed. And then here you want to just flip through these and select whichever one of these is most aligned with your branding. I'm going to pick this one with the red accent color and hit save. Okay, we're going to go next. Now we have the schedule. This is just explaining it to us. And so class is really just the name of the thing. So I'm going to call it consult call, consultation call. Okay, we are going to set the duration. I'm going to say 0 hours and 30 minutes. And I am the team member, so most often it probably will just be you. Okay, and now we want to set our availability. So you will be able to integrate this to some extent with your calendars. I'll talk about that later, but you're able to here select, let's say that I'm open to consult calls on these 3 days of the week. And I'm going to go through and select all of the times that I want to be able to show up. Now these are times showing in your time zone. And so whatever you have your time zone set up in your settings of the account is what will be available here. So we're just going to go through and select all of them. Let's say that I'm going to do it up until 3 p.m. and I'm going to hit add. So now here we can see all of the possible time slots for the days of the week that we selected that would be available. And then here on the right hand side, you can exclude months. So let's say that you never do consult calls in December and in July. You could put in some exclusions. you can also exclude, you know, let's say we want to do from December 15th to the 31st, we want to make sure that's blocked off. So now that is not selected, or rather we can say from the 1st, I did that backwards, to the 15th is selected. Okay, so here the number of sessions is, you know, when they book, is it a one-time session? So in the scenario of a consultation call, yes, it is a one-time session. You could put multiple ones if they're booking something that's like a, the example it gives here is a four session training program. Let's say you're like selling bundles of two-hour sessions or something like that. Okay, this you want to set the minimum booking notice, and so this means how far in advance are people able to book. In other words, how much notice do you want to have before a call is added to your calendar? So I'm going to put don't allow booking within the next 2 days so that I know that I have at least 48 hours heads up before a call is scheduled. And then there are some restrictions you can make around the booking range, and that's like how far out you want to allow people to book. So again, for something like a consultation call, typically people want to speak to you sooner rather than later, and also you want to speak to them sooner rather than later. They might forget, a month goes by, that's too long from the action they're taking of booking a time with you, and so I'm going to say only within the next 7 days. So what's going to happen here is that the calendar, if they look for more than 7 days out, it's not going to show availability. Or, you know, we could do 14 days so they can see the next 2 weeks on the calendar, but then beyond that, it's blank. And then here you can also block specific dates that you are not working. And you would just, you know, select them, hit add, select, add, and so on. Okay, so I'm only going to do the this one, but you can add a second quote-unquote class. I'm going to get rid of that one. Okay, so we just have the one. I'm going to hit save. All right, now we want to make sure, this is really important, obviously, so you don't end up double booked. I'm going to say across multiple classes and calendars. There might be times where you want to select this one, but you know, if it's just you doing these calls and you're setting up some sort of call where you personally are always need to be there, then you need to select this because currently we cannot clone ourselves. So save and move on to this section, which is integrating with your Google Calendar. Again, really important to do this. So that it can look up your calendar and see what's in there. And if you already have some sort of other event in there, even if it's within your schedule availability here, if you have another call or something booked on there, it won't show it as available, even though it's listed as part of the availability. So you want to integrate that. Now, if you haven't integrated your calendar already, you can click on My Integrations and then go to the Google Calendar, hit Create Integration, and then you can click Connect. Mine's already connected, so I'm not going to do this, but you can click to connect Google. It'll prompt you to log in, and then it's going to connect to that account. Okay, and then here, if you have multiple calendars in there, especially, you can select which ones. I just have the one, so I'm going to hit save. You can also connect to Zoom or Google Meet, and that's super helpful so that it can generate the room number, link, and everything for you. So you can hit yes, I'm going to use Zoom. I think I already have it integrated. I do, but if not, again, you're going to do exactly what I just did for the Google integration. You're going to click My Integrations. It'll take you there. You are going to find Zoom, click to integrate, and then follow the prompts. Okay, save. All right, registration. Here we're selecting whether it's free or paid. You can have paid, and then you're going to, if it's paid, it needs to be a product you have already created up here under products. And then you would just select which one it is. I'm going to do it as a free. I'm doing the example as a free consultation call. So there's that. And then you may want to add additional fields here. So we've got first name, last name, email. You can add in some additional fields that are like the default existing fields, or you can create a custom field that asks them some sort of question. So I'm going to do a text area as an example. The field identifier is like the name of your field that you'll see in like drop-down menus and that the system is going to use as the ID for that. I'm going to say main challenge as the name here. And then because I want to ask what is your main challenge in this area on the form. So here I'm going to say okay, so that might be a question that I ask. The placeholder, we don't need to, you can, but that's like what shows up as a preview in the little box here. The way that this example, tell me about your business, is showing up here. And then you can choose whether or not you make it mandatory. I'm going to select that it is mandatory. Okay, actually, sorry, I was wrong. I guess the placeholder does need to be filled in. So this is just a little preview that it'll show them. You can put something like enter your challenge here or whatever it might be. All right, save, and now we're selecting whether or not you want to show people their own time zone. I would always suggest saying yes to this, so allowing them to select the time zone in the calendar is going to help prevent confusion around time zones. All right, your success message. That's pretty self-explanatory. You can direct people to a thank you page that you have designated specifically for this. So you can create a page and then select that here. Or if you need to redirect them to maybe an application form or something after they book a call, you can do that. Or you can fill this in. There's a headline, subheadline, and then like your text information there. You can also, if you go this route, so this is going to be something that's displayed to them on like a default Kartra screen after they book, you can also add in a button. And so all of that is previewed for you here. You can swap out the information, turn on or off the button. The button would be if you wanted to add in some sort of call to action right on this page. All right, hit save. Next. And then we can select to add reminders. I always recommend doing this. So let's just do an example. Okay. So the first one is the confirmation message. Yes, I recommend having this. This is saying it's going to be sent immediately after they register. I'm going to hit edit, and this is an email editor just like all of the other areas within Kartra. So you can go in, change the email for yourself, hit save, and now we've got our confirmation set up. Email reminders, I'm going to say yes, add reminder, And then up here, really important to set when you want that reminder to go out. So again, in the email editor, you can make any of the changes that you like. And then here you want to say, let's say that I want one 12 hours before the session starts, save. And then I want to add a second one that is 1 hour before the session starts. And so now I've got both of these. All right, save and next. You can select whether or not you will allow them to cancel. I recommend this so that you don't end up with no-shows, like waiting for people that are not able to attend. And this, at least allows them to notify you that there's a cancellation. And then here you can select whether or not you want the calls instantly approved, which means it's just going to be added to your calendar. It's booked, the person gets their confirmation, and everything is set in place right away. Or you can set it to manual approval. This is in the event that you want it to go into a pending sort of status for a certain amount of time. Until you go in, you review the form that they have filled in and the time and all of that. And then once you approve, then they're going to be getting their confirmation and reminders and all of that. This is, your preference. And then also it really depends on the type of call. For something like a consultation call, most likely you're going to select instant approval so that there's no barrier and delay to the booking. If you're doing something like if you have a more extensive application form for people to fill in and you're qualifying them before they get on a sales call with you, for example, then it might be better to do manual approval just to make it clear to them that it's not instantly booked right away and you're kind of reviewing their application first. All right, basic automations. I won't go into detail on this. We've gone over this in other videos, but here you can select a tag. I definitely do recommend assigning a tag and subscribing people to a list. This can just be your general, like all subscribers list. The tag, you can have a tag specifically that is tied to this calendar. So like booked call, and then your consultation call name, whatever you call it. Okay, and then that is it. Now you want to, you can embed this somewhere, but you can just use the Kartra hosted page. You'll also be able to embed it kind of within, throughout Kartra when you're in your memberships or pages. But here I'm going to just copy this. You can also edit the link by clicking here. I'm just going to leave it. And so now we see the red that I had selected, some of the times I selected. Here it's showing me that this is my time zone, the duration. Okay, and then this is the confirmation text that we had placed during the setup. Okay, and then that is it.